on my 11th birthday, my father gave me $2. Said he's giving me $1 for each one. And scratch out the Jackie Vernon story. And I decided that I was going to do what I wanted to do with the money on my 11th birthday. Now, I'm from the projects. When you live in the projects, all the boys, 15, 16, 14, they're cool, man. The thing about the projects, you had to walk cool. Guys had cool walks, man. So when you turn 11, you have to start to develop your own cool walk. So I started mine. Now, that was my walk. Mothers do not understand cool walks. I came in the house with my cool walk. My mother said, "What's the matter with your leg?" So I couldn't do it in the house. But I had a friend, his name was Roland. Roland was crazy, but I loved Roland. We were always hanging out together. Roland had a cool walk too. Roland got his walk from a wino with bad feet. So I went by to get Roland. Old people said that Roland was crazy. Said Roland wasn't playing with a full deck. Said the 10s and 5s was missing out of Roland's deck. But Roland was my main man because Roland's favorite trick was taking his eyelids and turning them inside out so the pink part was showing, man. I loved Roland for doing that. And Roland loved to do it whenever there was a substitute teacher. Roland would be sitting there with his hands over his eyes, and she said, "Roland Johnson." She just fainted. I said, "God dang, Roland." That was my favorite curse word, too. God dang. So I went by to get Roland. I said, "Hey, Roland, come on, I'm going to take you to Willow Grove Park." A place called Willow Grove Park where they had exciting rides, man. Now, this was when I was like 11 years old. I'm 37 now. And so the thing was, and all them rides scare people. And the ride, as soon as you got on, you say, "I want to get off, I want to get off." And as soon as it was over, you said, "I want to get back on, I want to get back on." Thrilling, because they broke down. Some rides, and 18 people died. Good, can I ride it? I want to. But don't kill me. I just want you to scare me, but don't kill me. So Roland came downstairs to go with me. Roland had put on his clothes backwards. All of them. Pants, shoes on the wrong foot. I said, "God dang, Roland, you're too mean, Jay." So me and Roland, we caught the trolley car and the bus and the subway and another bus and got there and we saw Willow Grove Park. Now, the only thing we had ever been on before in our lives at Willow Grove Park was the merry-go-round. Merry-go-round is the dumbest thing in the world to put your kid on. Kids do not enjoy the merry-go-round. You sit on this wooden horse, you hold a pole, and you keep going up and down, and the thing's going around in circles. Ain't nothing exciting about it. The only people excited about it are your parents. Every time you come around, they're there waving at you like you ain't coming back no more. So me and Roland said, "God dang, man, we riding on the roller coaster, Jackson, yeah." And we were the first in line. Now, usually there's a long line whenever me and Roland step up to it, and that's another thing Roland is good for. Roland can get you to the front of any line, man. Roland keeps soap chips in his pocket. And you say, "Roland, looks like we ain't gonna get in, man." And Roland say, "Have no fear, man," and put the soap chips in his mouth and turn his eyelids inside out, man, and go down the line. "You're going to die. You're going to die." And the next thing you know, me and Roland's first, Jack, standing up there, man, and the line is across the street. And now me and Roland are first, and the roller coaster pulled up, and the people got off. "Oh, that was a wonderful ride." And the man said, "All right, you two boys right up front." God dang, man, Roland, we up front on the roller coaster. And the man put the bar down, and me and Roland was sitting cool. And the thing started out real slow. So Roland got mad and stood up. "Say, mister, what kind of roller coaster is this?" The man went crazy. Sit down, boy! Sit down! Yeah, but the roller coaster thing going real slow, man. We supposed to get scared, ain't we? You sit down and grab that bar. What? I said grab that bar. We don't have to hold on no bar, man. We from the projects. I don't care where you're from, you grab that bar. So me and Roland held the bar. God dang it. Now the thing started climbing. 23 stories tall, made out of wood, painted gray, and old people said the termites was eating it up. "23 stories. Roland was the first one to cause panic. Because Roland said, "Hey man, we done run out of tracks." And I stood up to see where the tracks went. That's when it hit the fan. This thing is gonna crash. It's gonna jump out the track. I wanna get out. I wanna get out. I wanna get out. I wanna get out right now. I wanna get out. And I wanted to call for my mother, but the wind kept blowing my mother back in my mouth. I said, "Mom, Mom." And the thing was going sideways, and my eyes wouldn't close. I didn't want to see that, but my eyes stayed open. They kept saying, "I don't believe it." And my heart stopped because my eyes sent a picture to my heart of what was happening, and my heart said, "He ain't gonna make it." And if I could have just called for my mother, man, my mother would have been there. Because all you have to do, you call for your mother. Mothers will show up no matter what, man. He said, "Ma, super mother, my child is in trouble. I must go save him." Fly up and save you and go home and cook dinner, man. I ain't calling on my father. No, fathers show up, but they always say the same thing. Who put you on the goddamn thing in the first place? Now, you get yourself out of it, and when you do, you report to me, because I'm going to give you a beating. And all of a sudden, the ride was over. And the man came over. "Okay, boys." Oh, my goodness. Say, George, come here. Take a look at the boy on the far right. I think we're in big trouble. I think the ride turned his head around. And his eyes is in backwards. And he's got the rabies, too. "Okay, boys. Now, son, yeah, you're gonna have to let go of this bar. Now, just relax your fingers, son. Gee whiz, couldn't get you to hold on to it. Now you may have to take it home with you. Now, when you get up, you got two problems. The second one is that your legs won't let you walk cool. You want to say, 'Oh, man, that ride wasn't nothing,' but your legs, you just..." And all the way home on the trolley car, people kept sitting down beside us and getting right up. You boys been riding a long time, haven't you? I was 12 years old. Puberty attacked me overnight. I didn't know what it was, but I knew the dream was different. Because up to that point, I had my own problems with another dream. I kept dreaming I was a warm river. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny about those dreams? Males, I don't know what the females have, but the males have them. And all you have is you just have it. You know, you never did nothing. It's all of a sudden, you know, like the girl, she was always, it was the same girl. The same dream. She was running backwards. And I was chasing her. You know, and nothing ever happened. Just all I remember is, you know, and then the first time it ever happened, I got scared, man. You know, because I didn't know. I looked at it and I didn't know what it was. I said, uh-oh, I ate too much cornbread last night. And I wasn't about to show it to my mother. Because she said, oh my God, he's been to the Philippines. So I rolled up the sheets and went down to the laundromat and did my own sheets, man. 5 o'clock in the morning. 9, 12-year-olds down there doing their sheets too, man. But after that day, I got out of school 3:30, 4 o'clock, I was back in the bed again. Come on, whatever it was. Yes, indeed. 3 glasses of water and a picture of Dorothy Dandridge. I was on my way. Being a boy and not knowing and acting like you're supposed to know. And you just keep saying, yeah, to everything. Yeah. And you hear guys talking, well, I went over to the thing, yeah. And she did, oh. And you keep saying, what? What did he do? Where? And God doesn't help any either. That's why I know God has a sense of humor, because just when I started liking girls, man, that's when God decided to change my voice. And I'd go to talk to a girl, I said, my name is Bill, and what would come out was, my name's Oldford. I went to pick this girl up, I said, oh, Mrs. Johnson, is Mary in? And the mother said, yeah, Mary, is some yodeler down here to see you. And then he put pimples on my face. Here I am at the high point of my sexual career, and God decides to change my voice and put pimples on my face. And my old man didn't help things either when he kicked the door to my room open and said, you know, you keep that up, hair's gonna grow on the palm of your hands. He didn't say nothing about the other thing because he wore glasses. There's some weird times. God. And kiss, man, they said kiss. Just love the kiss, man. It's kiss and fundle and kiss and fundle and kiss and fundle. And neither one of you know where nothing is. You know, he's just hoping that somebody will come up and say, now look, you do this and you do that. Both of you, oh God, where is it? I have no idea what it is. There's things but kiss. Yeah, lips get all bloody and dry. My father has had DTs 8 times. This is the only man who's ever seen the 4 horsemen. There's only 3 of them now. He choked one of them to death in the hospital with a paper towel. Now, my father, when I was a kid, confused me because he would drink, come home 4 o'clock in the morning, and just be sick. I've never seen a man so in love with the toilet bowl in my life. I mean, on his knees, hugging the toilet bowl with his face in it and talking to Jesus. Oh, Jesus, please. If you get me out of this, Jesus, I promise you I'll never drink again. It confused me because I went to my mother and I said, Mom, is Jesus in the toilet bowl? But now, people who drink, you have people who are very nice about it. Some of them will only take 1 or 2 drinks. Some of them are able to achieve a high melody. And they can discuss anything rationally, but they're just sort of feeling kind of mellowed down a little taste. And there's really nothing wrong with them. They haven't bothered anybody. But then there are other drinkers who go straight to drunk. And wouldn't know high if you gave it to them. But you ever notice the drunks become very belligerent and very serious about discussing things in life? Now, when they were sober, they never said a word. But when they get drunk, they wish to discuss the relevancy of why. And you notice that if you come to a party with someone and they've had too much to drink, they will want to drive you home. Come on, Freddie, I'll take you home. And you say, no, we're not going to California. We're going by way of Arizona first and just stop off and see some friends. No, come on, I'll take you home. Now, the highway patrol knew that they could not stop drunks from driving. So they put those little metal hiccups in the lane. Drunks know that if they stay on them hiccups, they're still on the highway. So they drive. They don't hear that, they stop the car. Sober people use it the other way. When they hear it, they know they fell asleep. Anybody here from the Midwest? Yeah. Okay. Do you know, anybody here know Frisbees? Frisbee? The game Frisbee? Do you know how it originated? Frisbee is a plastic cow chip. See, people in Iowa used to toss cow chips, see? But you could never take them to the beach. So the dude said, well, why not make them out of plastic? You know, it's far out. Yeah. Sir?
Burn them too.
Huh?
You burn them too.
Yeah, you burn them. They make heat in the house. You don't even have to light them. Just sit them in the fireplace. It gets warm after a while. Chinese restaurants. You have to keep an eye on them Chinese restaurants, man, especially if you've never been to one. I learned that when I was 13. See, they don't mark that mustard. The Food and Drug Administration should make them mark the mustard, man. Because everybody's got to go one time, first time to a Chinese restaurant, man. And I went in, I had this girl with me, I was so smooth. I was cool, Jack. I had a tie and a suit and everything, man, and $3. And I had never been in a Chinese restaurant before, you know. And you know how you are when you're dating, man, you only have $3. I mean, there's a dude in your brain keeps saying, we ain't gonna be able to afford this, it's gonna be very embarrassing. And another one keeps saying, yeah, well, we'll tell her. When? After she's eaten it, or what? You know. So you go in, and they had a bowl with the mustard. And I'm from Philadelphia, man. Philadelphians put mustard on everything. I mean, they put it on Jell-O, anything, man. And it's a bowl there, and it's not marked. Now, if you go to a Mexican restaurant, they got a bottle there, that says H-O-T. And even if you can't read, it's got a picture of the devil. Chinese restaurant, they don't mark nothing, man. That's why they're all sitting there watching you. They're looking for somebody who don't know nothing about the mustard. And I sat down, and the girl was nice, man. She ordered 2 egg rolls. And I said I wasn't hungry, you know, which took care of my order, you know. And they brought them, and I just took one of the egg rolls, and, you know, when you're poor, you try to get as much as you can for your money's worth, you know. So I just dunked the whole thing down in the bowl, man. Came up with about 8 tablespoons of mustard and put it in my mouth. I was doing all right while I was chewing it, you know. She never knew. The only thing that gave me away was my eyes started bleeding. And my nose started running, you know. When she went home and told her mother I was a junkie. I always believe that Tom Jones and name another groovy kind of cat that women just freak out. No, Engelbert Himpadopoulos. Yeah, all them dudes, you know. Like half of their audience don't want to be there. That's the guy who bought you. The guy who brought you doesn't even want to be there. He ain't too tickled about seeing you get excited about some other dude. But now, if you're sitting in the audience with your wife and Raquel Welch comes out, you ain't allowed to look. You have to watch the show at the floor, just looking down at your shoelaces, counting the holes in your shoes there, man. And on top of not being able to look, you get a dissertation on what is real. That's right. Oh, they know what's real, man. You know, if she stands near those lights another 5 minutes, everything's gonna fall. Can you believe Let's Make a Deal and the people on that program that they are Americans? You know, and man, I really think they routine them people, man. They say, now, okay, before you get on the program, let's see you go, no, you didn't do it good enough. You can't get on our show. Let's get off. But man, you know, what I would really love to see is one time that dude would come down and he'd say, okay, now, in this envelope, in this envelope is $300, or you can take what's behind the curtain. Make it choice. I'll take the curtain. And they open it up. Oh my goodness, there it is, a small box with an ant in it. And the lady pull out a gun and say, give me the $300. No, but you made a mistake. No, you made a mistake when you showed me the ant. Now give me the envelope. Girls love that sound, man. I used to hang out with John Thomas. John had a 46 Mercury. His father gave it to him in 1958. But John, that car was mean though, man, because John had pipes and all kinds. He was always going to Pep Boys and putting something in that car, man. And he just... And he had the body of the car fixed so the body would keep on going forward, you know, but the wheel stayed, man, at the light. And I was John's main man. It was my job to keep the window down and have my elbow hanging out. I was just... And John, see, he never looked where he was going. See, he looked at the tachometer. The tach told him how he was doing, man. John had 4 on the floor, 8 on the roof, and 9 on the door. And it was my job that when girls were a quarter of a block from the car to tap him, and he would take off and, you know, just impress them. Just burn rubber in first, throw it to the second, drop it to go to third, and then drop it back in the second, and then go to reverse and backfire all the way back down, man. And by the time he got there, the girls said, woo, we want to ride. And I didn't even ask, man. I just opened the back door, and they get in the thing, Jack. That's how cool we were, man. And you could see the girls coming, and John sitting there. And I just tapped him. My job to check the girls out. The one on the left is yours. See, my father had a car, but my father wouldn't loan me his car. And on top of that, my father's car wasn't cool either. Father had a 52 Chevy. And my father's car went... You can't get no girls with a car like that. I borrowed his car one time. He let me drive it to the drugstore to get some medicine for him. There was a nice-looking girl sitting at the bus stop. And I went, burden, burden. And she said, burden, burden to you. Best car was owned by Charlie Waynes. Charlie Waynes had a 42 DeSoto. cut the back off of it and put a Hudson back on it. And he painted it himself with house paint, pink and white, with a lion's head on the trunk. God, then he took 200 pounds of sand, put it in the trunk, you know, so the root wheels raise up. Front wheels never touch the ground, man. Then he went down to the graveyard and took the engine out and bought an old Cessna airplane engine. Put it in his car. Charlie was too mean. Me and Charlie sitting in his car with airplane helmet and goggles on. And Charlie started. Car would only go 20 miles an hour. But girls had to book reservations to get in that car, Jack. Yes, indeed. I took my driver's test in that car, and the state trooper wasn't ready for it. State trooper got in, man. My name is Woodard, and I'm sure you're familiar with the Pennsylvania Motor Vehicle Rules and Regulations for driving on the freeways and the highways. You will now start the vehicle and proceed. I was 16, scared to death, man. Didn't like the clutch, never wanted to meet the clutch, and hated it. And in them days, see, you had to take the gas pedal, Jack, give it some gas. Just have to give it a little gas, that's all. I think you flooded it. How come? Well, there's gas shooting over your left shoulder. Yeah, I know it does that all the time, and don't smoke in here either. What the hell is this, an airplane? Yeah. Well, how do you keep the engine cool? Well, you just have to keep moving. All right, let's go. And I panicked on the clutch, man. Could not get out of first gear. Just went. For 4 blocks, I'm going. And the trooper's sitting there going, Jesus Christ. Here, you pass. You pass. And after that, I just had me a nice permit. You have 2 drugs that I'm concerned with. One is cocaine. The other is marijuana. Cocaine, I've never partaken of any cocaine, nor have I smoked any marijuana. Although I've smelled it and I've inhaled it. I've never smoked it. Because I've been with people and in the room and they'd be smoking, you know. Okay, now to snort cocaine, you have to take it and with this little spoon, put it in your nose and suck it up. And then you have to do the other nose, because that side is jealous. And then you wiggle your nose, and then you worry all day if anybody can see the powder you left. This is an illegal drug, and therefore you are not sure of what you are getting, which makes it a bad thing for you to take anyway. Yes, you will get high, I guess. You just snort, honk, snark, you know. And people who snort cocaine, usually the ones who never buy, you know, are always sitting there, snark, hark, the most, snark, hark. Well, I guess I'll have one before I go, snark, hark. And I think I'll have one for next week, snark, hark. And I'll have some more because I may be dead, and I may hark, snark, this is for when I'm dead. But you cannot get an assurance that it's going to be great. And if it isn't great, you cannot return it. See, pushers don't take back nothing bad, man. See, it's not like if you buy a piece of meat. If mom goes to the store and says, I want to bring it and take it home, and 2 hours later it's green, she'd take the meat back and throw it in the butcher's face. Splat! You all rotten son of a gun, you gave me some green meat. And the guy said, oh, my miss, I'm sorry. Here, wait, we'll make it up to you. Here, bring out the cow, George. Here's the whole cow. Take it home with you, ma'am, and we're sorry we gave you some green meat. It ain't like that. It ain't like that with a Coke dealer. You buy some Coke. Is it any good? Well, it's only stepped on once, man. And you take it home and open it up, And let's say he sold you some Babbo. And you go snark, honk, and then they and your friend is saying, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing. There's nothing wrong with me. And then get a little block up in the dentist. We have to go to the dentist and get it brought out.
And when you smoke grass, you work harder than any other person to get high. People who smoke grass work hard. First of all, they must suck in. Now that brings about a conflict of interest within the body. The lungs don't want smoke in there, so they're trying to push it out. The brain wants to get high, it says keep it in. Now in order to keep the smoke in, all grass smokers make the same face. That's the face of a man holding the grass in. Now the next sound that you hear is the sound of the smoke coming out. It's sneaking out through a hole made by the cocaine. The sound after that you hear is of the grass smoker trying to get the smoke back. And so you hear. Now, all grass smokers love to share, so they must pass the joint. While passing, there's a lot of tapping going on, because the grass smoker doesn't want to talk. And usually they're tapping somebody who's already ripped and can't feel them tapping them. So now the grass smoker must talk. He must talk quickly. So you hear the grass smoker say, now if you get 9 people on one joint, you got all them sounds in the room. Now you figure after all that hard work, these people would go out and do something important. No, they sit in a chair like this. And you say a simple thing like, how you doing? What? Watch it, man. I just flashed on something when you said that, man. Don't do that. You scare me, man. And when they smoke, they recognize things for the first time. The guy was, oh man, the ground. Dope smokers support half of Disneyland. See, you don't know that. They love to get ripped and go to Disneyland. Oh man, a giant mouse. What's happening, mouse? This your missus? Alcoholics do not support Disneyland because they think they're getting the DTs again. Watch it, Fred, there's a giant duck coming. Get the kerosene, we'll set him on fire. Get the paper towels ready for choking him to death. And the dog over there. And the cricket, giant one. So, I just say that to say that, you know, a lot of it is just ridiculous, I guess. Ain't nothing worse than grass smokers, man. Because all kinds of things happen to them. Some of them get paranoid. Far out, man. I just flashed on something again. It was beautiful. Then they get to munchies. I could dig on some raw potatoes. Do you have any? No, all we have is some linoleum. What car? How are you, Mother? How you feeling? Good. You live up here? No, where? San Jose. Well, welcome. Just in San. Okay, nice to have a. Are you mother? Grandmother? 2. Mother and grandmother. One is nice, the other is not so nice. Grandmother is not so nice. No, because I'm a parent. You know what I mean by that? Yes, my mother and father are horrible people since they become grandparents. Same thing they used to kill me for. They let my son just walk water on. I mean, really, man. I hate for my mother and father to show up at our house. I send the kids away. Then they're all right. But man, my son is out there setting the house on fire. And I said, put the matches down. And my father said, don't you touch that, boy. That's a beautiful fire. Look at how evenly the house is burning down. A lovely fire. But I loved my grandfather, though. Golly, was he beautiful. Man, my grandfather would sit up there and give me money all the time. But all I had to do was listen to a story for about a half hour before he gave me the money, about how much the money was worth. You know, when I was a boy, I had 50 cents in 1805. I had 50 cents, that's a lot of money. When I was a boy, remember I had 50 cents. I bought a house. And a car. And put 17 cents in the bank. See, fathers don't give to you if you're the male. And fathers don't give to you. They tell you no, then they tell you a 20-minute story on how they never begged nobody for nothing and how they made whatever it is you asked for. And then they always end 40 different stories with the same thing. They always say, and that's how I met your mother. You say, Dad, can I have $3 for a pair of skates? Skates? No, you can't have no $3. You know, when I was your age, boy, when I was 9 years old, I never begged nobody for nothing. When I was 9, I had my own farm in Virginia. And I wanted a pair of skates. I went out and cut down a tree with a butter knife and carved out 8 wheels and took 2 horseshoes and hammered out the foundation, found 200 pebbles, all the same size. Them was my ball bearings. And I skated 20 miles of town on the dirt road. That's how I met your mother. She's hitchhiking. Tell me about life. I put the L in life. Shucks. But see, fathers always do that because they're frustrated, because they know they're not the boss of the house. See? Everybody, by the time you learn how to say good morning, you know that your mother is the boss. Because mothers control that bed. See, fathers are always sleeping somewhere different, man. You see them in the sofa, they're in the bathtub. My father slept with me and Russell. And we didn't want him with us. Big old 5'11", 230-pound man, sleeping between me and Russell in the crib. And he almost killed Russell, man. Rolled over on him. And he was drunk that night and couldn't wake up. And Russell was underneath. And I was trying to wake him up, and Dad wouldn't even wake up, man. And Russell was getting weaker. So I did the best thing I could. I went in the bathroom, got a glass of warm water, and poured it on his leg. You've never seen a man jump up so fast in all your life. And the best part about it was the fact that he felt both of our pajama bottoms and we were dry. We woke up in the morning, Russell says, the mattress is wet. And my father said, no, it ain't. The fathers snore when they sleep, man, all of them. I don't care who it is. Could be the Pope. If he's a father, he snores. And you can hear him. And then they stop in the middle of the snore. They go. And you look at them, and they got one eye 3/4 of the way open, and that eye is just going back and forth, the whole eyeball. And you think they're dead. And I said, Dad is dead. And Russell said,